It's Wednesday, August 5th. Coming up live on The View. The hot topics are hitting home. From Laura Lang and Una Lee's emotional reunion with their loved ones, including former co-host Lisa Ling. Paula saying adios to Idol. Plus, The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard star James Brolin's looking back at when he revealed his most intimate moments with wife Barbra Streisand to Barbara Walters. And stars of the Emmy-nominated #1 tween show on TV, Wizards of Waverly Place, Selena Gomez, David Henry, and JT Austin are telling you why these on-screen sibs are like a family off-screen too. Then, the cast of Hair is letting the sunshine in with a performance from the Tony-winning hit musical that'll give you a flashback. All that, hot topics, and more coming up live on The View.
Welcome to The View. Now, we have great news. We have great news. In part, it's great because it's a fantastic thing that's happened, but also because the woman it's happened to is also part of the View family.
Right.
After being held in prison in North Korea for more than 4 months, journalists Laura Ling, sister of Lisa Ling, and Una Lee are back with their families in the United States. Former President Bill Clinton took a private plane to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-il, who granted them a pardon and let them go.
Yeah.
It's kind of extraordinary, you know.
Well, we have a special feeling, I think, Joy and I, because Lisa was with us as a co-host from 1999 to 2002.
Right.
There she is with us next to Joy. I wanted to go on and do more journalistic work, and we used to see her mother and father came here, her sister came here.
Right.
We felt that we knew them.
So many. She's been back so many times.
Yes,
too,
and
nice.
so I mean, it is wonderful for the country and that Bill Clinton did it and so on. But for us, it's also, I think,
It is. It's personal because, you know, she's part of the family.
We rejoice for the
And I
whole family.
have to give a shout out to one of the sexiest guys in the world, Bill Clinton.
Well, I was just about to say.
Appreciation for this guy. You want to talk about sex appeal? This guy's got it, you know?
I have to say, even on, I think, you know, as political as things can get, this is a situation where you look at these two men, both President Clinton and former Vice President Gore, and you think they are heroes in what they've done for this country and for both of those women.
He called
You know,
Clinton.
but it's his company that the two young women worked for. Some just, you know, and yet they wanted Bill Clinton. It's also fascinating that Clinton met personally, you know, with Kim, whom nobody has been meeting with, whom they thought had a stroke. There you see, and who wasn't able to communicate. So this is you know, very important. And also, I think it's interesting in case, because I was saying earlier, well, who paid for the plane? And the plane was paid for by a producer in California whom I know, Steve Bing, who was a close friend, is a close friend of Bill Clinton's, and is a movie producer and offered to send the plane. So it's not the taxpayers paying for it.
Just watching that, you know, I love Bill Clinton, but just watching that, I just wanted to cry watching Una see her daughter.
I know.
Put her in her arms. She has, I mean, she had, because I know the little girl, I don't know if they had told her that her mother was,
no, they didn't.
They didn't say anything to her, but just as a mother.
Where did they say she was?
She said, they said Mommy was at work. I mean, I think as most people would protect a 4-year-old.
The agony of not being with your child, I can't even comprehend what that would be
not
like.
even the agony of not being with your child, but the feeling that there might come a time when you would never,
Never see.
12
you know,
years
be
of
with your
hard
child
labor.
again. I mean, it's extraordinary. And you know, Bill Clinton is one of those guys, and we talked about it the other day. You know, sometimes, you know, you have to ride the waters of diplomacy. You just
That's right.
have to do it. There's no way to know what any given situation is ever going to
They're
be.
being
So-
criticized also from the right.
Supposedly, we don't negotiate with terrorists. So it is somewhat precedent-making, and then one wonders, what about the hikers being held prisoner in Iran?
Sure.
You know, and
Well,
what-
I think
For 8 years
also-
we didn't negotiate with North Korea, and they built up an incredible nuclear arsenal. So I don't know that not negotiating with them was the right
Here's
way
the
to
thing,
go.
It is
too,
a
I think that
policy of
many-
the country not to negotiate with terrorists.
It's been an
and
national
then what
policy.
happens to others, like, as I said, the ones who are now in
Speaking
Iran?
from someone who typically gets, you know, cast, you're on the right, you're on the right. I think this is a situation where people are, if they are criticizing, saying, well, these women were now used as pawns to get, you know, so that North Korea can get what they want. They were going to be used as pawns whether they were there or here. And quite frankly, I'd rather them be here and home and safe with their families. And what Clinton and Gore did and this nation just did is a victory, and that everyone should take pause from their politics and semantics right now. And
I
just
think they have. I think they
Yes,
have.
bravo. But here's the other thing. You know, this policy of not negotiating with terrorists, you know, it's one of those policies that you ride, because we always had an understanding with North Korea. We were very clear. That's why they didn't sell arms to anybody else. Our diplomacy was, listen, we're not playing with you. We will help you feed your people, but here's what you can't do. I mean, they're very, very specific. Now we have a different relationship with Iran. We don't have the same kind
North Korea.
With North Korea.
with Iran.
Oh,
With
Iran.
Iran.
Oh.
You know, with Iran, which didn't we just say the three
that was
hikers?
a switch, yeah.
Okay, so we have a very different relationship with this country. We don't have any diplomatic ends. We don't have a history of it. So it is going to be a very, very tricky situation for us. But as this country is always trying to do, I believe in my heart, we're trying to find ways to do it without busting up too many people. You know, so I'm glad that it happened.
Journalists? What are those two guys? They were
There's
hikers.
three hikers.
But
One is a
one
young,
of them was a journalist.
one is a journalist, and I think two may be professors. One woman
But you
in
know,
the two.
you talk about Al Gore. I think just to say
But
we're
by
gonna.
the way, not there in a journalistic assignment, I don't think would be. I think
No,
that
they
they
were
were there
just
as tourists.
Yeah.
Really? They can't hike in the United States?
Well, a lot of people go a lot of places where they could, you know, if that were the case, nobody would ever
Hiking
leave.
trails right in the Catskills.
I'm with you. I'd be hiking here
Speaking
as
of
well.
a hike, Paula Abdul announced she's not returning to American Idol.
No.
Writing on
Paula.
Twitter, with sadness in my heart, I've decided not to return. I'll miss nurturing all the new talent, but most of all, being a part of a show that I helped from day one
That's right.
become an international success.
I think that Paula.
Wait, are you applauding that she's leaving, or are you applauding that she was
she should get, she should get, you
Step
know,
up for herself.
Ryan and Simon. I think that they should give Paula some money. Paula did help make that show #1. Paula did not win the lotto and get on that show. She's a multi-platinum, Grammy-winning artist. She knows
Straight
what
up
she's
now,
talking
okay,
about.
straight up now.
Straight up now, tell you, she brings a great deal to that show. I'm very upset.
You want to talk money?
Yeah.
You want
Okay,
some
here's-
money?
okay.
Give it to Paula.
This is
You know, Paula don't want my money.
okay. This is what I can't verify this, but
Yeah.
this is what the New York Times said. She was believed to have earned about $2 million in salary last year. She wanted much more. They offered her a multi-year deal worth more than $10 million a year.
And what's Ryan
Excuse me,
getting?
let me finish. And that's what she has turned down. Ryan Seacrest is reportedly getting $15 million. 45 million over the course of 3 years. If I'm wrong, don't shoot the messenger. So she was going to get 10.
Right.
Ryan Seacrest was going to get 15 million per year, and Simon supposedly last year, made 36 million.
And
I'm trying to find out what Randy Jackson got, but nobody has told me yet.
1,200.
Many millions, but I just don't know.
isn't the
So
point-
she was offered 10 million, felt that wasn't
So she
enough.
felt she
and-
wanted
Wait
to
a
get with her
minute, just
peers.
one point. I mean, that has to be looked at in the context of how much American Idol is bringing in.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of money, but they might be bringing in $1 billion for all we know, and because these people are doing
bringing in a lot,
they
because
should be
with
sharing
It says what the producers feel they're worth. They obviously feel that Ryan Seacrest, certainly Simon, that's why I'm trying to find out what Randy got, that they couldn't possibly lose them, but they could take a chance on losing Paula, who wanted more than $10 million a year.
I think they're making a big mistake.
I think most people in America, outside of American Idol, would think, who turns down a 30% raise right now, given the job situation? But having been there and been behind the scenes with Paula and seeing how she and Randy, I mean, when she says nurture those guests, she really does. And she has an important role, so it's, we'll be at a loss
discount
without
the
her.
Excuse me, I'd like to make a correction. It was a multi-year deal worth more than $10 million.
So over the course of several years,
Ryan's was a multi-year deal, wasn't it,
listen,
Barbara?
I think they've made. I think that by not sort of being a little more, I think it probably feels to Paula a little disrespectful, just a bit.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be a little bit of a mistake.
Women are still making 79 cents on the dollar.
Listen, Paula.
Where does she go from here?
Listen, Paula Abdul has never not worked.
Yeah.
And when she doesn't work, it's by her choice. This girl, you know, you see her doing stuff for jewelry, you see her clothesline, you see her choreography. She is a girl who is going to work. So I'm not boo-hooing the fact that she's not going to be working. I'm boo-hooing the fact that I think she got a little disrespected, and she's good for that show, and that show has been good for her. And I'm sorry that she's not there, because
she brings more publicity than any of those judges. Any of those judges, Paula has the most publicity.
The fact that she put it on Twitter is really a negotiation point.
If it is, girl, you go do.
I think the negotiation is over. I think it's done.
I mean,
she's
look,
made
to
her
put it out on Twitter, says to her fans, write in and tell them you want me.
I don't know. People put stuff on Twitter. I don't know what it's for. I don't twit nothing.
You can still write though.
I'm going.
Still write a letter.
But we're gonna come back because we have more hot topics.
All this week on The View, we just filled them. She's been working her butt off all summer long, and the wait is over. Thursday, August 6th, Sherri's walking out live in a bathing suit. The co-hosts are looking back at the most unforgettable and unbelievable moments from the past season of The View. And Julie and Julia stars Meryl Streep and Amy Adams. All that and more this week on The View.
Please now, Sherri, you have been working up to this all summer, and on tomorrow's show, you're walking out here live in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
This did not come easy. It did not come easy, people. What happened to you, Sherri?
Well, I don't know if you saw the show last week or a few days ago. I had to go get a bikini wax in preparation. Because it was, it was lots of stuff going on.
Jungly stuff.
You know, because I've been married for a long time. I didn't see the nigga.
You never looked.
So
She had branches growing.
And I was screaming. I got to Paula Breck. I got this bikini wax. I'm screaming. And that's Nina, who had done it for me. And so...
I don't even tell you what this looks like.
I gotta say, so yes, this got 700,000 hits on the computer. I can't believe how much people want to see this stuff. So anyway, I go back to get, some maintenance done. And I say to Nina, the lovely Russian lady, I said, did you see it? And she went, yes, I saw it, but I don't know if people will want to come to me now. And I said, but it's 700,000 people see it. And she said, I don't know. I just don't,
She's scared
I don't know. And I felt so badly, because she's so good. But on my own, I also got like a facial because I never had it. And she decided to give me one of those chemical peels. Yeah. And she put the stuff on there and she's like, it will only burn for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And I'm sitting there and I'm screaming and I go, I'm sorry, I won't, And I feel, but I'm gonna tell you that chemical peel, it feels so good. It feels like a baby's booty.
Oh my God.
I feel like so Nina is so good. Yes. I just want to let people know she does not hurt you. I would go back every time for a bikini wax with Nina.
Nina is great. And the truth is, if you took Sherri's makeup off right now, she'd look like joy.
Exactly.
Okay.
do it for comedic effect. It hurt, but I make it funny. I make pain funny.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it's worth it in the end.
Exaggeration.
Yes. Now, I have to shift gears here because we have a really hard story to talk about. There was a tragedy in suburban New York last week when a mom driving the wrong way on a highway slammed into an oncoming car, killing her 2 children, her 2-year-old and 3 nieces, and 3 men in another car. Now, the toxicology report says that she was drunk and high when it happened. Now, there's a lot of discussion going on because no one is quite sure why didn't the family see, what did someone see, what actually happened. Right. So lots of people have lots of opinions about it.
She didn't kill 2 children. It was a 2-year-old. It was her 2-year-old daughter who was killed. And you're right. And the 3 nieces. Yeah. Right. And 3 men in the other car.
So,
tragic.
So.
But you wonder if this is a woman that had a drinking problem before, and then it brings it upon us of how much of a responsibility as a family do we have if we know someone has a problem. How much, because sometimes you have people who you try to intervene and they do what they want to anyway. Right. So do you physically take keys from them? Do you
put your children in their car? Now, supposedly, her brother said that she called just before the tragedy saying she was disoriented, and members of the family had said that they did not think that when she got in that car she had any problem.
Well,
so
the question
is,
she stopped at one point.
Is this a long-range problem? Did something happen that day? I think people have to talk to the family.
She had the equivalent of 10 shots of 80-proof booze.
Right. But we don't know what that means.
That's a lot of alcohol.
But if she picked up, now just roll with me for a second. Yeah. If you're packing up your picnic area and you grab something and you drink it down and you move on. Now, you know, folks get out in the wilderness and they smoke a little weed. We know this happens. But is it possible that she, of course none of you, and certainly not me, but is it possible that in a rush she drank something down and it wasn't aware of it as she's rushing to get out of there?
I think giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'd say giving her the benefit of the doubt at this point after hearing this is really difficult, although I'd like to. I think having that amount of alcohol that was still in her stomach undigested.
That's why I say maybe it was a fast thing.
It just seems like, I don't think she just happened upon a drink and didn't realize what was in it.
They found an empty bottle of vodka in the car. Yeah. Which means that she was probably drinking.
I think
I don't know. I'm just telling you the
scary to me. What's really scary is the recent reports that people are texting while they're driving, they're talking on the phone while they're driving, they're drinking while they're driving, they're having sex while they're driving. A lot of people, and you know who you are. I feel more relaxed in a plane now than I did in a car, and I was a little nervous about a plane. Now I'm worried. And you know, everybody makes fun of me on this panel for years because I call the police when I see cars weaving in and out. Everybody has a duty to call 911 when you see someone driving drunk or acting crazy. Your life is at stake. You need to be proactive in this world. Thank you. Speech over.
Right.
I'm afraid to go in a car now.
Well, you know, if people just start, you know, paying attention to the amount of alcohol that's being ingested, because it's legal, you can go get drunk anywhere. I've said this since I got here. This is a pain in my behind, because alcoholism is a huge problem that is easy to hide from people. So, here's something, again, I'm taking you in another direction. I'm a little upset about. There's plenty of daytime drama around this building today, because our neighbors, since The View started airing, the iconic All My Children announced they're moving to Los Angeles. Now, I'm sad about this. I've only been here 2 years, but I've made some good friends over there, and one of my good friends is going to be leaving. I'm just,
Susan Lucci.
Yeah, her too.
We're all going to miss Susan.
We're going to, so we'll see what happens.
Leaving.
Yep. I mean, what are we going to do? And in an article on MSNBC.com says, check your bad mood at the door before you get to work. So I'm going to be cheerier. Because no matter how nice you are, most of the time, one angry outburst will stick with you for a while and damage your credibility. So how do you get out of a really bad mood? That's the question.
Talk like that.
You know what I gotta do?
What do you have to do, Sherri?
You know, for me, I gotta go and pray.
and I got to go and pray, and I got to ask God to show me how grateful I am.
When you come in the morning?
When I come in the morning to show me the blessings of being, because I don't have to be here. I could be going,
So like if you're cranky, if you're cranky, like now?
No, I'm not. No.
James, I should have prayed before I came here.
Well, you know what?
Let me just say that when you do that, you know that I love it when you talk
make you
like
happy
that.
when I do that.
Well, you always make me happy, but that makes me particularly happy.
Well, then I'll do it like this, okay? So, like, we're gonna take a break because that's what we do in The View. But when we come back, oh my God, we're coming back with James Brolin.
The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard, James Brolin plays the owner of a car dealership where the deals are a steal, whether he likes it or not. He'll be with us in a second, but take a look.
Well, somebody get Dick Lewiston off the lot.
What's the matter anyways, Mr. Selleck? No one's selling anything. It's a damn killing field out there.
Mr. Selleck, I think I made a sale.
Terrific. Good job, Teddy.
And he wants to pay in cash, non-sequential, unmarked bills neatly packed in this canvas bag.
Well, that's a bank bag, Teddy. Oh, somebody call the cops.
Well, as you gather, it's a comedy. Please welcome the divine James Brolin.
How did you take a break in there? Was it a commercial? Hi, Barbara. Hi, baby.
I'm so happy to see you.
How are you?
Good,
So good to see you.
Well, as you can see, everybody laughed just at that little, don't lean back.
Yeah.
Just at that little
Whoa.
clip. Yeah, be careful.
You know, every time I see you here, I want to do a Barbra Streisand and Nikki Arnstein and just go, gorgeous.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to look like an old guy, you know? and-
But she doesn't think so, and we don't think so. Yeah, I should mention, by the way, that, and then we talk about that Barbara has a new album out, and I could watch Barbra Streisand singing the phone book, and it's called Love is the Answer.
Yeah.
She's talking about you, of course.
I don't know. I think our doggy, you know.
Maybe.
You know, Sammy is you know, she's
Something
got
the
both
dog?
of us, yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, everybody laughed at just this little clip that we showed, and it obviously
that's
is a
good.
comedy. Yeah. But you haven't played too many comedic roles in your life.
No, and I just loved it.
Are you funny?
Am I funny in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No,
they
are you
didn't
funny
show
in
it.
real life? Is humor a
Oh.
big deal with you?
Well, I grew up in a family where everything was a joke, and nothing sort of was serious. And it was kind of nice because we never went into any rage about anything. It was always fun. And we developed a code, you know, and people around us didn't quite understand what we were talking about. I don't think they still do. But my wife, I tell her a joke, and she just says, what's that? It's just a different way of coding things. But we laughed everything was a prank every day, and you know.
How long have you been married?
But
now?
I never get asked to do a comedy
Yeah,
until
well, now.
now.
You did a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
Yeah.
11 years?
Okay, I want to show something. And this is not funny.
Already.
11 years.
Just like that.
Okay, almost 12 years ago, I did an interview with you and Barbara, and she talked about, it was the first interview that the two of you had done as a couple, yeah? And oh boy, well, it speaks for itself. Take a look.
You know what spooning is, don't you?
I think so.
Spooning.
Yeah.
So he was like whispering, he was holding me and whispering in the back of me.
Sleeping spoon.
Yeah, sleeping like spoon stock, cuddling in bed. Is that what we're talking about?
right.
Yeah.
And we were just
Okay.
about to fall asleep, I thought, you know, and he says, I don't want to fall asleep. And so I say, why not? And he says, because then I'll miss you.
I had to say something.
So there was a song written about this.
Yes. Yeah, was it Diane Warren? Yeah, she wrote
Dionne Warwick?
No, Diane Warren, the songwriter, saw this interview and wrote this song, which is was it Independence Day or?
I think so.
It was a big hit. And
All because
I
of
don't
this
want to go to sleep because I'll miss you, something like that. Something really corny.
Would you and Barbara ever make a film together?
You know,
directed.
in all this time, in this 13 years we've been together, we have read about 4 scripts together, both thinking, oh boy, I hope this works, you know.
Yeah.
And we'll read it alive. And matter of fact, we did one like 2 weeks ago. And then you know, when you turn the last page and close it, if you're not inspired, it doesn't happen, you know. You have to go, oh, we got to do this. She's working on a film now. I mean, she's preparing, possibly directing herself something, you know, so.
Well,
But she's not inspired very often.
Right.
This film, going back to your film, you have a few raunchy parts in the film.
In this?
In this.
Did you see it?
Yeah, no, we didn't get to see it. I'm looking forward to going to see it.
This guy's a real
I know
case.
you have some raunchy. They told me this.
Yeah.
And I want to know, what did your wife think about you taking this role? Did she like it?
She didn't know about it, and then I took her to a screening. And she laughed. You know, I don't know if anybody saw Hangover, but you know, all the way through it, you go, this is really tacky, and you're laughing, and then you go, that was really tacky, and then you're laughing.
Bruno was like that, too.
Yeah. Bruno, I couldn't believe what I would. You know, there's something about looking under the carpet that is just so refreshing now.
Yeah.
We're doing it more and more sexually and with everything, and it's only healthy.
I like to
isn't
do
it?
it on the carpet rather than under the carpet. But
Hey, your choice.
You know, your son Josh also is a wonderful actor. We love Josh. And you both played Republicans in your day. And I don't know what your affiliations are, but you're married to Barbara, so you must be a Democrat.
I'm Democrat, yeah, I'm forced
Or you'd be tearing each other's hair out. But you played Reagan.
Yeah.
And he played George W. Bush in that very funny, I guess it was sort of funny, more tragic to me, but whatever, about George W.
I think he heard the same thing that I heard afterwards, that a lot of people understood these personalities and what drove them after they saw the movie. You know, there were Republicans that hated seeing the movie and did go and said, you know, I like Reagan, I like Bush more than I did, because especially with Bush, now I really understand why he was the way he is and why what powers his justifications.
What a talented family. I mean, James Brolin, Barbara Streisand, Josh Brolin. I'd like to come for dinner.
And Diane Lane.
And how could I have left her out? Diane Lane. We love to have you on. You're just the nicest guy. And you're funny. Who knew you were so funny?
Oh, wait till the next picture.
Our thanks to James Brolin. And we want to tell you that The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard, is in theaters August 14th. That's right around the corner. So do go to see it if you have a moment, see how funny he is. And we will be right back with the stars of The Wizards of Waverly Place. Get the little kids lined up.
Thank you, guys.
Wizards of Waverly Place is the Emmy-nominated #1 show for tweens that's casting a spell in a new upcoming TV movie where the Russo family goes on vacation and may never come back the same. You'll see. Take a look.
Alex, do you want to tell our little brother what you did? She got in a huge fight with Mom and Dad and used the family wand.
That you gave me?
This is not my fault. To wish that Mom and Dad had never met, and now they haven't. It's exactly like it was 20 years ago. They don't know each other, and they don't know us.
So we have no parents anymore. Well, I'm confused. I mean, is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Kid's got a point.
This is a very, very bad thing. And once again proves why I don't do bad things, because whenever I do, more bad things happen.
So you're admitting that this is kind of your fault.
We love them. Please welcome Selena Gomez, David Henry, and Jake T. Austin to the show. I don't even know where to begin. We probably have all the kids from all of our producers here today. They absolutely love the show. Selena, I want to start you singing, first of all. I know you have a new CD coming out. We hear you singing on the show. Is it a requirement of all Disney actors and talent that they have to sing? Do you guys sing?
In my shower?
Oh, you do play guitar. Okay. What about you, Jake?
If that happens, that's far down the line for me. I got school, sports, acting. I'm good. I'm satisfied for now.
You've got a lot going on. And I love the new haircut.
Thank you.
Adorable, very fresh. And Jake, I know you met Whoopi a little while ago, right?
Yes, we worked on an animated feature film called Everyone's Hero, and I remember when I was 9 walking up and going to the recording studio and seeing her recording and thinking, oh, am I in the wrong place? Like, I didn't know where I was, and the producer's like, go in there, go record, and I mean, you were just so nice to me, and I really appreciate that. And I remember she had her Twizzlers.
That's right.
I love your Twizzlers. Are you still into those?
Absolutely.
They're good.
Oh, yeah, Twizzlers don't play, man.
Out in LA, they have the red vines out in LA, so that's what we're sort of
Are you
used to.
listening to him and thinking what I'm thinking? Can you hear his voice without knowing?
I can hear his voice because, first of all, one of the favorite shows in our household is Go Diego Go. And Jake is the voice for Go Diego Go, who's the cousin of Dora the Explorer.
Can you see my Band-Aid?
Oh, my God.
Diego in our house and Dora. How did you come up with the voice for Diego?
Well, like, I was around the same time I worked on the film, and I remember getting the audition and saying, basically, it's a boy version of Dora, and my voice was high enough as it is when I was 9, so I just did my imitation of Dora. And it sounded somewhat more masculine, which I guess worked out in my favor. And, you know, it's fun to go to McDonald's drive-thru and be like, can I have a big, can I have a Big Mac? I love it.
Baby Deborah. Understate, amigos. I love it.
You guys know more than me about it.
I also want to congratulate you guys on your Emmy because for outstanding children's programming, it is a huge deal. I mean, you're making such waves, and that's an honor truly deserved. How did you find out when you got the call?
Oh, I got a call from our show's publicist, and it was in the morning, and I picked up the phone, and she said, I just wanted to congratulate you because your show's now nominated for an Emmy. And I freaked out, and I ran downstairs, and I woke up my mom in the bed, and I go, we were nominated for an Emmy, and we got to celebrate with our cast. So it's truly an honor to be recognized for what we love to do most, and our writers got recognized as well.
David, where were you?
I just moved into my house, and I didn't have any furniture, so I was sleeping on the floor, and I was getting ready for work, waking up, and my mom called me, and she goes, congratulations. And I was like, great, what? And she goes, you got nominated for an Emmy. I said, excuse me? She goes, you got nominated for an Emmy, and then we freaked out, and then came into work, and they had a cake for us and everything. It was very, very sweet.
I woke up pretty early in the morning, and for some reason I was on the computer, like most teenagers nowadays. And I found out through Twitter, our executive producer.
I love it there. I find out a lot there.
And then I clarified with my dad to make sure that no one was getting punked, and it was true. And it's like Selena said, it's great to know that all our hard work, the cast and the crew is being rewarded. Yeah.
Totally did. And then also the TV movie, which is coming out later this month. Yes. People are in great anticipation of this. Yeah. So I hear there's some special effects, over 300 of them, correct?
Yeah.
And then tell us what actually is going to be different about the movie. What are we going to see? What else, Selena?
Our family takes a family vacation, and I play the rebel of the family, and I don't want to be there, and I'm a typical teenager. I want my independence, and I'm bickering with my mom. So I cast a spell wishing that her and my dad had never even met.
Oh.
And
while holding the forbidden book of spells.
No.
She's forbidden.
And now it's up to me and my brothers to try to figure out a way to reverse the spell, because if they didn't meet, we wouldn't exist.
We go on an adventure through the jungle for the holy grail of the wizard world, which is the Stone of Dreams.
Oh, the Stone of Dreams.
I know where it is.
You do? Of course Whoopi knows. You know it all. I love that. We are so happy that you guys are here. Good luck with everything. Come back anytime. The Wizards of Waverly Place. The movie airs Friday, August 28th. And everyone in our audience is taking home a CD of the movie soundtrack. We'll be right back with the performance of the Tony-winning musical Hair.
The Public Theater's Tony Award-winning musical Hair is turning a whole new generation onto Broadway. So right now, here to perform Aquarius and Let the Sun Shine In, please welcome the cast of Hair.
When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter floods with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will see its sun. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius.
album as well, sir, baby. And we will be right back because we let the sunshine in.